who let me take over the presentation.
Yeah, I shared it with you. If it doesn't work, I can just go out of it.
I think it should work. Let's see. Yep. Can you see the state of the OVS OVN slide? Okay, cool. So I don't know if you guys can see my background. I went around in the building looking for signage from previous conferences, and I was able to find last year's, which was easier, but I also found the signage from 2019. So I couldn't find 2020 and 2021, but that's okay. So my name is Rashid Khan. I'm the Senior Director for Networking in Red Hat. Many of you know me already, which is great, or maybe not great, but I have the distinct privilege of leading networking experts from kernel, from OVS, OVN, DPDK, and hardware enablement. So I'm standing on, as they say, I'm standing on shoulders of giants, and these are really industry giants in networking. And I'm really, really proud to be part of that team. Okay, let's start with our celebrations. This was a tradition started by Ben Paff a long time ago. I want to continue that tradition. For those of you who might not know the interface, there is an emoji icon at the bottom of the Google meeting. If you hit that, it should do some celebrations for you or send that out. Yes. Somebody's raising hands, maybe? I think we should have enough time for questions afterwards. No problem, Mike. Happens. I've done
emotes are disabled, Rashid.
Excuse me?
Sorry, I was just saying the emotes are disabled at the moment.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
On, I think.
Okay, that's fine. So people can put it in the celebrations in the chat, you woohoo or something, pat on the back, etc. So that should be good. So new inductees, new OVS contributors since 2022. This is a very big list, which is excellent. As you can see, it's broad community contributions, many different people from many different organizations. So this is good. When I have to reduce the font to fit in all the people in one slide, that's a very good thing. So I had to reduce the font a little bit because there was a lot of names in here. And before I forget, I want to thank Telco and Aaron and many others who helped do the data mining here, along with Dan Williams and many, many other people who helped with the data mining and helped me with these slides. So I appreciate it a lot. So this slide shows new inductees in the OVS contributions since last year. And yeah, another point to note is this is just since last year, which is fantastic. Moving along, OVN contributions since last year. This is another nice long list, which is awesome. Sincere thanks to all of you. Your contributions are the ones that keep the project going, which is fantastic. Thank you. Most active developers, Elia's on top of the list, but there are a lot of other people like David Marchand, Elko, Mike Patrick, Nobhiro Miki. I hope I'm saying the name correctly. Robin, Gavin, many others. These are the most active developers in Open vSwitch since last year. Sincere thank you again. And then the Hall of Fame inductees. Again, this is a tradition coming from Ben Paff from about a decade ago. We want to continue that. These are the OVS contributors with 10 or more commits. And there are 2 new names being added to the list. Nobuhiro Miki. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. I apologize sincerely. You can educate me how to say the name properly. And James. So welcome both of you. This is quite an achievement. 10 or more contribution commits in the last year. So welcome to the Hall of Fame list or Hall of Fame induction. On the OVN side, the most active developers is Alesh, which is awesome, Xavier, but there are other people like Hanzu, Vlad, Ihar, Noman, of course. So as you can see, this is on the OVN side also, there's a lot of people going. I have to really commend Alesh also, who joined the project recently, not long ago. And he's already one of the top, most active developers on OVN side. So this is fantastic. Thanks, Alesh. And thanks everybody on the list. Appreciate it. The health of every project is not just about the patches, it's also about the reviews and the quality of reviews and how many reviewers are there. So these are the top reviewers on the OVS side, from Simon all the way to Kevin, as you can see, and Elko. So these two gentlemen have done a lot of reviewing in the last year, which is awesome. And reviews, some people say that reviews are even more important than the patches creation themselves, and I would have to agree. That's a healthy project depends on healthy reviews. And hats off to all the people who have been reviewing and giving input about different patches. Rui, Hanzu again. So this is fantastic. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And then this is on the OVN side. Alesh has been most active. He's been putting in patches and reviewing a lot of code also. So that's fantastic, Alesh. Thank you very much for doing double duty. So this is awesome. But I would like to also thank Hanzu and others on the OVN side, which is fantastic. So thank you very much. Okay, so switching gears a little bit. Dan pointed out this very good statistic to me yesterday, that the project's participation is increasing, which is great. As you can see, these are the 2023 numbers versus 2022. So in the last year, project's participation is increasing on the dev list and the discuss list. And this is a healthy clip. So about more than like about two discussions or 2 emails a month on the discuss, and a lot more on the dev. So that's fantastic. So as we can see, the participation is increasing. This is the data is showing that. So this is great. What did we do last year? We had 2 main releases on the OVS side, and a lot of Z-Stream releases or maintenance releases. That's awesome. Batch releases, as we call it. And on the OVN side, there were 3 releases, and then 543 main commits, 33 distinct authors, which is great. And looking at the list, it seems like equal participation from Red Hatters and non-Red Hatters, which is also very healthy. In 2022, we had 393 commits. So compare that with 543 this year. This is fantastic. The features and technical highlights are way too many to mention. You can read all the details in the news file. I put a link right there at the bottom right corner. But some of the highlights I would like to mention is we have put in support for QoS, DPDK adoption process, SRv6 tunnel protocol. I won't read all of them. You can look at the news file and you can see the bullets on my slide as well. But the significant one on the OVN side is the CPU and memory reduction. This helps us on bare metal and in the hyperscalers. So that's fantastic. A lot of hard work went by a lot of people to get there. So appreciate that as well. And then IPv6 has been in there for a while, but then iPXE support has been added. And then more DNS option enhancement, DHCP and DNS option enhancements. So as you can see, the project is very active. The discussions, the contributions, the participation is increasing. People are more and more people are joining with their reviews, with their patches, and the feature set and enhancements and some significant re-architecture or improvements in architecture are still continuing, which is fantastic. Another thing that we did last year, we had a concentrated effort in patches backlog reduction. And this was a concentrated effort. As you can see with all those people, Elko, Simon, Ilya, and many others, Alesh and others, they worked very hard to do the backlog reduction or pretty much elimination. Now we are at a clip of about 30 patches, which is a very healthy number. And it didn't happen by accident. As I mentioned, the project put in a lot of resources, requested people's time and effort to focus on reviews. And now we are at a healthy clip of about 30 patches, which are in the backlog. And that's healthy for any project. And on top of that, the initial review is now taking about 2 weeks. So initial comments go out in less than 2 weeks or about 2 weeks, which is great. So reducing the patches backlog was something that came up over the last couple of years. And we heard you. We heard you. We worked on it. And now we are very happy to show you the results, which is great. Another thing that we worked on was figuring out the maintainers or committers list and simplifying it or making it more up to date. I would like to thank Ilya, Simon, Russell, and many, many others who worked in the foreground and background in the mailing list and behind the scenes to get all of this squared away. Now we have a very good list of emeritus maintainers, which are like the original authors, etc. That's a very healthy list. And then at the same time, we also have a healthy list of active maintainers. And these are the people who are actively involved. They are available, they are accessible. They have divided some areas among each other to focus on them, but we have an active maintainers list and committers list. So this is very, very good. There was some confusion earlier. There were some maintainers that were hard to reach because they had moved to different projects or different companies. But I'm happy to report that all of that has been sorted out in the last 12 months or so. And now we have a healthy list of maintainers, as I mentioned, and it's working out quite well. So again, I would really like to thank Ilya, Simon, Russell, and many others who worked, who had to work very hard to get all of this sorted out. Appreciate it tremendously. Okay, so OVN and OVS default is running by default everywhere. And I really mean it everywhere, from fintech, which is financial technology industry, healthcare, 5G telco, from Wall Street to High Street and everywhere in between. OVS and OVN is running by default and is running everywhere. It's running in about 10,000 plus clusters. And let me qualify that number a little bit. These are 10,000. Why did I pick 10,000 plus and not something else? These are 10,000 clusters which are sending us data, sending us telemetry data about the clusters themselves. So we know for sure that they are running OVN and they're running OVN by default. There are many other clusters, small and large, all kinds, small, medium, large, all kinds, which are not sending us data. But we know they are running. So they are in aerospace industry, they are in defense industry, they are in gaming, AI. So many, many others are running OVS, OVN as their default networking solution. And we know of them, but for sure, from our telemetry data that we get, we know that it's 10,000 plus clusters. Let me make sure that I am being crystal clear. These are 10,000 plus clusters. These are not 10,000 plus nodes. So these are, as I said, with some very large clusters in hundreds of nodes, maybe 500 nodes or more. And even on hyperscalers and bare metal and telco, if you make a 5G phone call within the United States, it's very, very likely it goes through OVS and OVN. So that is something remarkable. So live traffic, customers' traffic is flowing through OVS, OVN, which is fantastic. And congratulations to the project, congratulations to the community. A lot of hard work has gone in to get to this point, and this is awesome. So I see now emojis are active, which is great. Somehow they got active. Nice. Yeah, this is definitely reason to celebrate. Awesome. So 2021, we had up to 500 nodes working with OVS OVN, and I'm happy to report with the recent work done with OVN Interconnect, we have now reached 1,000 node cluster, 1,000 node scale. And the details of that 1,000 node you can see on the bottom right corner. It's not just a simple ping test. These nodes are actually doing a simple workload, I mean, heavy workload, but there are 232,000 logical routers and logical switches in there, and 116K load balancers. So this is on AWS we tested, and it is a very significant test. And we are proud to tell you that now we have reached 1,000 mark. And I think even we can, depending on the workload, we might even be able to exceed that. The success of any project is measured by stickers, of course. And we have OVN 1000 stickers available. If you send me your mailing address or send any one of us your mailing address, we would be more than happy to send you the sticker. It's about the size of a finger. Please, if you are involved in the project and would like to show off the sticker on your laptop or anywhere, please feel free to do so. I have put the OVN 500 sticker behind me and OVN 1000 sticker behind me. It's been there since day one, and I'm really proud of what the project and the community has been able to achieve over the last many years. So if you want the sticker, send me a note with your mailing address. I would love to send you one. But apart from stickers, it's super fantastic that we are able to reach 1,000 node cluster level. There are users of OVS OVN who are asking for smaller clusters because of their use cases, and there are some which are asking for bigger ones. And we believe that now we can cover all sizes, from handful of nodes all the way to 1,000 nodes, as I mentioned, on bare metal and on hyperscalers. And not many projects can do both, and we have been able to achieve both, which is fantastic. Again, the success of any project these days depends on CI and automated testing. We know projects which have healthy CI and healthy automated testing, and they are very, very successful. And the ones which do not have it are lagging behind, or there are regressions introduced by accident, etc. So the project is spending literally millions of dollars on OVS OVN CI, and that millions of dollars is in capex, is in equipment, is in engineering time, development of tests, execution of tests, and even the cost of electrons, which is electricity. So we are happy to tell you that the project is spending millions and millions of dollars on CI, including all of the above: equipment, engineering, electricity. And we have made tremendous amounts of improvements in excuse me, zero-day bots, case self-test, and huge reduction in OVN CI test flakes. And we are continuing to invest in there. In 2024, we have bought already a large pieces of equipment to help augment the CI. The challenge that I've given to the project or to the team members is that any packet that OVS OVN touches or modifies or changes in any way, it has to make sure that it's passing all those test cases in an automated fashion. Regular reports are put out. If you're interested in signing on reports and CI results, please let us know. We would be happy to add you to our regular reports. I don't know if you've seen the photo that shows the Boeing 747's cockpit and then the cockpit of the space shuttle. There are so many knobs and controls that it's very, very difficult to understand how the 747 or space shuttle operates. We are not at that level, but there are so many knobs and controls and setups and stuff in OVS OVN that it was becoming difficult to debug, especially if there was a service impacting problem. It was hard to trace packets, hard to check the flows, hard to see where things are going or coming from. So we have been spending a lot of time. When I say we, I mean the project. The project has been spending a lot of time and effort on improving debuggability, observability. And we have a lot of stuff happening. There are 3 talks on this subject in this conference. Please attend them, especially if you help with debugging or support through OVS OVN or are using it in live deployments. Please attend these talks. These fine gentlemen have spent a lot of time and effort in making debuggability, observability better. And Adrian also has a proposal upstream which will further improve it and show flows in a graphical form with pictures like this. This was a wish list item, or a huge wish list item from me and many support organizations for a very, very long time. And I'm happy to report that it is in works. Adrian has put out proposals. They are pending reviews, or he would love to get your input about it. So please talk to Adrian, reach out to him. If there are some enhancements you would like to add to it, that would be great. But this would be fantastic to see flows in this graphical form, especially in live environments, etc. So huge kudos to Adrian and other people who have been helping with debuggability, observability of the project. We had a lot of, there was a lot, the project has a lot of features and enhancements, but now we also have ease of use and debuggability, observability coming along with it, which is fantastic. This slide just shows that we have been working on it for a while. Again, Adrian has been concentrating in this area for a while. Even in 2021, he had a talk about it. So we have many tools now available. We would love to tell you more about it. We would love to set up demos. There are blogs about them. So if you are looking for debug tools, please reach out to Adrian, Flavio, Elko, any one of these fine gentlemen, and ask them more. If you have a wish list item, please discuss it with them. It is likely that they have already taken care of your wish list item, or they might say, oh yeah, that's a good idea. We will put it in such and such tool for future enhancements. Wish list means, oh, I wish there was a way I could blah. So please discuss that wish list item with them. It is likely that it's already covered somewhere, or there's another way to do it. And if not, I'm very sure that they will be very eager to learn more about it and put it in their plans. Okay, at the end of any conference or keynote, there is a section which is a call to action, or what next, or where are we going, etc. I would like to say that please bring your use cases. Tell us more about your use cases, how you are using OVS OVN. Partners, customers, others. You can keep it anonymous. You can tell us more about it. And we would love to make your use case easier, make it ease of use, make it more efficient, make efficient in performance, make it efficient in footprint, whatever it might be. So please reach out to us. Please reach out to other people. We would love to hear from you. We would love to know more about your use cases. We would like, as I said, we would like to input enhancements so that your use case becomes easier in whatever easy means, more efficient, faster, whatever. So please tell us more about your use cases, engage with us. We would like to know more about it. Also, we are focusing more and more on security with the requirements coming from the European Union and even North American governments. There is a big focus on security. Even our Asian customers are asking for more features in security. So that is going to be a focus for the project in the next year or so. And these days, every presentation has to have AI. But how AI fits into OVS OVN, let's discuss it. If there's something that we can do faster for vector processing, or reduce latency, or have shorter packets or smaller bursts, etc., we would love to know more about it and make enhancements in OVS OVN to make AI easier, faster, better. better, whatever it might be. So if you have use cases around that area, again, we would love to hear from you. We are trying to focus our attention on AI and see how, if OVS OVN is already doing all that needs to do in that area, or are there any enhancements that we need to make. And SmartNICs, we have been discussing it for a very long time. I myself have been discussing SmartNICs in this context for a very long time. There are new players in the market now with the different SmartNICs. We are engaging with them. We are working with them. And we think that they do help eliminate a lot of bottlenecks in the nodes and in the clusters and provide a big value add to our customers. So we are engaging with them. So these are few areas that we will be focusing on. We would love to talk to you more about it. We would love to get your contributions in form of patches, in form of reviews, in form of ideas, all of the above. And so let's discuss more, let's engage more, let's take it from there. And there's a lot more in this conference. There's a lot of very good talks. There's a lot of people who are going to tell you more about their features or update you about the projects, which are sub-projects within OVS OVN. So please stay tuned, look at the agenda, look at the agenda, look at the presenters, and please join in. So please join in, even if you can join for an hour or so because of your busy schedule, please do join in whenever possible. I think that was my last slide, is it? Yeah, it is my last slide. So we have time, which is great. We have time for question and answers. I would love to answer your questions, so feel free to jump on. Do we have any questions in the chat that I can address? I wasn't paying attention to the chat.
I am monitoring the chat and the Q&A area. So if anyone does have questions, yeah, I guess feel free to propose them. I'm going to take the opportunity to ask a question since I have the power to get things started. So Rashid, you've been with the project for a long time. You've seen it kind of grow from just OVS to OVS and OVN and adding that, and sort of the expansion of OVN being sort of embedded into other projects like OpenStack and OpenShift. So where do you see the project going? I guess three things. Where do you see the project in 1 year? Where do you see like what our needs might be? Where do you see the project in 3 years? And then really pulling out your crystal ball from behind those posters, where do you see the project in 5 years?
Good question. So I would like to deflect back to this last slide I had. Let's start with the areas that I think we will need to focus on. Security for sure. When the project gets matured, it becomes default, it's being used in different places, then more and more demands are put on security. It would be not beneficial for the project if security is handled somewhere else. So what I mean by that is if somebody has to buy another box that takes care of security and put it in front of the OVS OVN boxes, then I think we would not be serving our customers and partners very well. So security should be part and parcel of the project. So for example, IPsec, does it just fit in? Is it a drop-in? What are the requirements? Crypto, etc. Yeah. So encryption of packets, and what are the requirements? How does it impact? All of the above. So I think security is something that will become a must-have immediately. Then also, we have achieved that scale. We have tested it. We are continuing to work on further testing of that scale. I don't believe that we will be focusing more on further enhancing the scale. But within, let's say, 500 nodes or 1,000 nodes capacity, different use cases or more intense use cases. And if OVS OVN is taking a lot of cores on the motherboard just for quote unquote networking, if networking is taking a lot of cores, then there's not many cores left for application or our customers' own use cases. So reducing the footprint is going to be a continuous effort, and providing all kinds of networking flexibility and monitoring without getting in the way of applications. That will be a huge focus. So, Aaron, I know you asked about 1 year, 3 year, and beyond. I don't think that I have a delineation between 1 year, 3 year, and beyond. I would be lying if I could tell you what will be 3 years and beyond. But for sure, I think the project is still growing. It's still growing up. It's not done. It's not an old news. It's really just maturing now, and it continues to mature. There's so much effort has gone in getting to the 500 scale level and then 1,000 scale level, and getting it default into Kubernetes-based projects and OpenStack-based projects. So a lot of time and effort has gone in, and those projects are just beginning to use all the benefits and bells and whistles and features of it. Let me give you another different example. We have had IPv6 support in there for many years, but some of our customers are just beginning to deploy with it. So the features are there. The features have been there for a while, but as the customers and partners start to use them, we will find corner conditions. We will find something unique about their use cases, and we will have to further mature the project to take care of those use cases and eliminate corner conditions, etc. So I don't think I answered your question directly, but indirectly, I think I was able to. Let me know if I didn't.
No, you did. Thank you.
Cool.
We do have a question.
Yes.
This is from Vladislav Odintsov. Sorry, I definitely pronounced that wrong. And the question is, do you have plans for native OVN BGP protocol integration? And there was a sort of request back whether they meant native BGP or as of a native component. And so I guess there's some discussion going in the background on the chat, but maybe you could speak to plans for if you know of plans for BGP support in OVN. Yeah.
So let me talk about BGP in general. BGP has been becoming part of the discussion and then phasing away and coming back for, I would say, at least 7 years or 8 years. It becomes the focus of attention and then goes away and becomes focus of attention, focus again, etc. There are two polar views around about BGP. One is that there are network admins who think that BGP comes with too much automation. They don't want it that much automation for the network to be changing behind the scenes for them. And they would much rather have a control or find out where the congestion is or where the problem is and have a human being take action, because they feel that it has to be the network can't be trusted to make decisions on its own. A human being has to be involved. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's one view. And then there are other views in which they say, okay, it has to be flexible. Nobody's going to be monitoring it in the middle of the night. It should be able to make decisions on its own and make some adjustments to the network as things come along. Again, it will depend on the use cases. We are working on providing support for BGP. I think there was some projects which were at least happening in on our Kubernetes platform, which is called OpenShift. Some of the team members were involved in there. Dan Williams or Flavio, would you like to jump in and help me out here? I think we do have some support, but I don't know if it went in as a separate project, as a side project in our OpenShift, or was there any direct linkage to OVS OVN? Dan Williams or Flavio, do you remember? But Vlad, it's a good question. Let me make a note, and one of us will get back to you about that.
I guess Gurpreet in the chat said there is some support for BGP using BGP of an agent in OpenStack or OSP.
Right.
But that's,
so I know there's support in OpenStack and OpenShift, which is what I was calling the Kubernetes platform. And it does work with OVS OVN. But I think Vlad's question is more about core OVS OVN. So tell us more, Vlad. Send us an email. We would love to discuss more with you.
All right. It looks like we have